learned from doing these few focus groups, guys, and that Mr. Coleman shared with me as well that first night, is that in interviewing those OBGYNs, got that in there, a lot of the issues that women have, toxic shock syndrome, endometriosis, what's some of the other ones, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, fibroids, miscarriages, can anybody think of anything else? Yeast infections, who? Vulva tumors. All of these issues are potentially coming from Exhibit A, what you're getting from the shelf. And here's the deal, if you guys ever thought about this, you probably never noticed it, but the ingredients of what Exhibit A is not on the bag. And I'll tell you how I know, because I got drug out of Publix, going up and down the feminine napkin aisle. They were like, what are you doing? You know, just get one and leave. I'm looking for. So in any event, when I found that out, that was disturbing enough. But I want to show you guys something. Since you are here for the first time, you're a guest. Greg, can you come up and give me a hand? I'm going to get you to do the rest of the presentation. What's your name again?
Amanda.
Amanda, give her a hand, guys. You come around here with me. This is a paper towel from Kevin's bathroom, right? Regular paper towel. I'm going to put it over Exhibit B, and I just want you to take your hand flatly and press all the way up and down it, if you would. All the way up and down. It's going to, yep.
I'm glad it's just water.
There we go. Now hold it up, if you will, for them to see. And what happened is probably what you would expect to happen. Now that water's been on that pad for how long? A few minutes, right? But this is an 8-hour protection system. Here's the fact, have any of you guys ever worn one of these for 8 hours, first of all? No. Probably not, right? But here's the deal, I want you to hold it up so they can see it. Here's the issue, ladies, what I want you to understand. When you're in that feminine flow time of your life, when you're laying down or standing up, that's when that flow is taking place. If I tell you a good joke and you laugh hard enough, that's when that feminine flow is taking place. When you cough or sneeze. But when you sit down, because you see how absorbent your store-bought brand is, all the poisons and toxins that God meant for you to leave your body are literally being drawn right back into your system. Henceforth, all the issues we're having. Now, I'll take this one, and I want you to stay up here. We're not done. I told you we're going to do the rest of the presentation together. Okay. Another paper towel from Kevin's bathroom. I want you to do the same with Exhibit B. Press up and down on it. Okay, you want to stand up on it? Okay. You can lift it up. She's about to bust it back. Completely dry. Now, hold it up, hold it up. And even where her knuckles were, you can see her knuckle prints with no water. So guys, ladies, which one of these would you rather have on the most precious part of your body? The most sensitive part of your body, the most precious time of the month. Obviously, Exhibit B, would you agree? All right, guys, we're done. The person that invited you has a pre-launch certificate with them. Go ahead and fill that out. God bless, good night. Let's go to Blue Moon, y'all. What else you need to see? Y'all need to see something else? That makes enough sense, doesn't it? That makes enough sense. We're going to do just a little more. What's the next thing he did? What time Blue Moon closing? The next thing he did, somebody said, who? It's still my birthday second week. I celebrated. I said, man, that was 2 weeks ago. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the first layer, and I'm telling jokes and just tore the whole thing up. But I'm going to pull off the first layer so you guys can see what literally has been touching your skin. There we go. All right. Now, I want you to definitely feel, wait, is this your first time here as well? Mm-hmm. Tell me what you feel.
Well, it's a little rough.
And
it's wet.
There we go. Bam! Jedi psychology. Y'all saw that? I want you to feel that as well. The reason why it's a little rough, it's obviously why it's wet. But the reason why it's rough as well, because this isn't what you would expect it to be. This is rayon. So now this is the first thing touching your body. You're walking, you're sleeping or whatever. It's actually irritating. That's why a lot of women have that irritability, right? On their skin. Now, I want y'all to guess what this is. Those who don't know, guess. This is part of their absorbency technology. I'm going to help you out. This is no more than blue dye. This is blue dye. So blue dye, if it gets wet, your body's 98.5 degrees. It's getting in the pad. Where else is it getting? in your bloodstream. That's where a lot of the issues are coming from as well. Now, I'm going to make this real simple for the guests. What would you guys say this is? This is the actual absorbency stuff.
Cotton.
Cotton? Good guess, but it's not. It's, what's that commercial? Y'all don't remember that? You think it's butter, but it's not. It's, okay, I'm sorry. My brain was somewhere else. Siobhan, right? Something like that. Maybe that's up north. That was just up in New York. There was cheap butter with the plastic in it. So anyway, what this actually is this is wood fibers, wood chips, old newspaper, and trash. That's literally what this is. I'm not telling you what we think. I want you to do your own independent research. Wood chips, wood fibers, old newspaper, and trash. Ground up, and it goes through a 6 or 8 step bleaching process with chlorine. They bleach it to make it look white so you'll think it's cotton. Here's the problem. When they use the chlorine to bleach this, and you're wearing it, and liquid's hitting it, and your body temperature, it forms a chemical called dioxin. Please don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Dioxin is how many times? 179,000? 179,000 times more deadly than arsenic. Wow. And it's also the first stage of Agent Orange. We actually heard a doctor break that down on a call the other night. Was anybody on that call? Where the doctor broke that down and said it's actually Agent Orange. So guys, this is where all these issues are coming from. And this is why, we don't know why, but the FDA doesn't require them to put the ingredients on the packaging. Because if they did, nobody would ever use this. They'll do what our great-grandparents have been doing when they were ripping up cotton sheets. They would not use this. The only reason why this is even come about is for convenience in this modern era, right? So as we wrap this up, which one of these cups would you guys say has the least amount of water in it? The one in my left hand, correct? So we're going to take their absorbency system, put it in that cup, and let it do what they say it should do. Guys, guess what would you say this is? This is a Kroger bag. So if you have toxins leaving your body, blood, polyps, maybe even a little urine, encapsulated in a plastic bag, would you agree that that's a perfect breeding ground for bacteria? This is where all the issues are coming from. It's really a no-brainer. That's why this is so short and sweet. So now what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this Kroger bag, and we're going to dissect Exhibit B, which is our product, right? In all fairness, so you guys can feel it as well. Then we're going to get some pizza. At Blue Moon. The pizza's going down tonight. Now, I want you two to feel this one. Feel a little different? How's it feel?
That's soft.
Feel a little different? How's it feel?
Dry.
Soft
Feel dry.
and dry, right? Reason being is because this is what you would expect to be touching your body initially. That's just cotton. What you would expect it to be. How many people like that? Yes. Right? Now, here is the kicker. This is what I want to call the microchip of this pad. What this is a negative ion strip, right? Or I'm sorry, an algae strip infused with negative ions. Do your research on negative ions. Negative ions are known as what's called the vitamins of the air. When you have a thunderstorm, when you're near a waterfall, when you're at the beach and you notice you're relaxed. You notice nobody's ever really arguing or tripping at the beach. If anything, you want to take a nap. It's the negative ions in the air. This is infused with negative ions. Negative ions have been known, number one, to alleviate pain. So we have testimonies of women that say, I had to spend the first 2 days of my feminine flow time in the house in the fetal position because I'm in so much pain. Well, we have several testimonies of those same women who now don't have to deal with any more pain because of the negative ions in the strip. How many people like that? Or the potential to even have that eradicated. So we got pain, first of all, that's being dealt with through the negative ions. The second thing that negative ions are known to help with is they eliminate and eat bacteria. That means the odor is now gone. The majority of the testimonies we receive is ladies say, I had one lady, I don't know why I can never forget this one, because this is when we first started doing this, and I wasn't quite used to having women come up and talk to me about their feminine flow. And she walked up to me, and it was just so powerful. She said, it's not just the odor. She said, Derek, just the smell of blood turns my stomach. And you have it there and it's just hitting your face. And she said, just the smell of blood just nauseates her. Well, this eliminates all the bacteria, which kills the odor. So now you have no pain and potentially no odor as well. How many people like that? So we have two industries that are being affected. Because if you trace them, a lot of them are connected to Exhibit A. If you trace the pain medication, the Midol companies, if you trace the feminine sprays and the soaps, these are billion-dollar companies, and they're all linked to the same thing. The third thing negative ions are known to do is they balance your pH system. So a lot of the testimonies we've been getting, people that have migraine headaches, they're gone. People that are off kilter, I'll just be real, I used to think y'all was tripping. But now they say because the pH system is being balanced, there's a feeling of well-being and calmness. So we need to just package these and make sure everybody got them, put them under their tongue or something. But that's the negative ion strip, and we call that the technology of the pad. So now what we're going to do, because we did theirs, we're going to do ours. You guys agreed that this cup obviously has more water in it, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to have to pour just a drop out because it's going to spill over, just a little bit. But that still has a lot more than the first one did, correct? So now we're going to take out our absorbency system. And just like we did theirs, we're going to put it over in the cup. And let it do what it does. Now, I tore this up a little bit, but hopefully you can see it. I can on this side. But if you look hard enough, can you see those lines in there? Looks like little tracks. Can you see that? And all the guests? What this technology is if I actually put this over a cup of steam, you can see the steam come through this, which means it's what? It's breathable, right? But if you pour water on it, it'll capture the liquid, which means it's what? It's strong, and it's not going to let anything leak through. Don't ask me how they did it. Some space age technology, but we got it. How many people like that, right? So, and here's the deal. The reason why our bag can be totally sealed is because of the adhesive on ours is a food-grade adhesive. So we could totally seal ours because there's no chemicals in it that'll cause the bag to blow up. How many people like that? Right? Big difference. Now, let's get to the pizza. How long would y'all guys say this has been in here? About 5-10 minutes? Does it look like it's doing its job? This is the reason why most ladies have to change 4 to 6 times a day. Is that about right on average? Right? This is why. This is the issue right here. And if you really look at it, you'll notice the water will start getting a dirty hue to it. The longer we let it sit, the yellower the water will get. That's the dioxin in this pad. This is the chemical that you guys have been dealing with for the majority of your life. From the average age of what? It's 8 to 9. It used to be 12, 13. And that's a whole nother focus group. Why is it starting earlier? That's a whole nother focus group because it's starting early. Is that correct? So now, this is something you guys have been dealing with. I said y'all been dealing with chemical warfare for the majority of your life. How long has ours been in this cup? About 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes. Okay, I promise you I'll get it done. If I get a drop, I promise you I'll pay for it.
I'm natural, I forgot. Go
There you
ahead.
go. Not a drop. Not a drop. Is that exciting or what? Not a drop of water, right? So, that excited me. Y'all can check it out. Matter of fact, we'll pour some of this. Instead of pouring the pot, I want y'all to see that change. I'm going to take some of this water. Remember, I poured it out so I can have room? But I can just pour it in there now. Uh-oh, a little bit spilled out. We can just keep pouring. It'll keep absorbing. I promise you, it'll take all of this and more. How many people like that, right? Now, that was exciting to me. As a matter of fact, in Mr. Harris's kitchen, I didn't want to let them know because I usually don't let people know immediately. I like to go home, sleep on it, pray about it. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I'm very serious. Sometimes I realized what I was dealing with. Me personally, I was dealing with a divine interruption. Because my entire business plans changed in Kevin Harris's kitchen. So prayerfully, some of y'all are having a divine interruption. Even if it's just from a health perspective. It doesn't even make sense to